We look at where we've come from and know truly that anything is possible. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here with us today. And can we give a round of applause for the cute kids who gave us a presentation this morning? I thought they did a fantastic job. Excellency, distinguished guests, I'm honored to join you today, and I would like to thank Forbes Middle East for organizing this really important event in the lead up to COP28. And allow me in particular to thank His Excellency Dr. Thani Al-Suwaidi for his leadership on this issue. As you know, he has spent many years working on climate. As the former Minister of Climate Change and Environment, and prior to the UAE's permanent representative to the International Renewable Energy Agency, now as Minister of State for Foreign Trade, he is leveraging his expertise in these critical areas, trade, renewables, and climate, to achieve exactly what we're here to discuss today: driving economic growth for a greener world of tomorrow. Because in the UAE, we know that climate action offers opportunities for social and economic development. This is our lived experience. And that's why, as COP28 nears, we believe that together we can turn the greatest challenge we face into the greatest opportunity of our lifetimes. In the Middle East, we live in a region where heat is extreme and water is precious. We understand the risks of climate change and the impacts it has on people, planet, and prosperity. That's why the UAE has long viewed climate change as a challenge we must get ahead of and tackle head on. We simply have no choice. That's why we were the first Gulf country to sign and ratify the Paris Agreement. We were the first in the region to commit to an economy-wide reduction in emissions by 2030, and the first to set out a roadmap to net zero by 2050. And that's why we will continue to prioritize climate action along with the entire global community. The UAE has used our climate ambitions to grow and diversify our economy. 17 years ago, we began investing in renewable energy. Today, we operate 3 of the largest, lowest-cost solar plants in the world. We were also the first country in the Middle East to operate zero-emissions nuclear power. This, plus our renewables, will provide the UAE with 14 gigawatts of clean power by 2030. Our climate ambitions have also created knowledge, skills, and jobs for future generations of young people. And our climate ambitions have contributed real-world solutions to a global problem that affects us all. To date, the UAE has invested $50 billion in renewable energy and clean tech in 70 countries. And we plan to invest another $50 billion in the coming years. Because we truly believe that the transformation that climate action offers for social economic development, and that's what we have lived. And that is why it's so significant for the UAE to be co-hosting COP28. We look at where we've come from and know truly that anything is possible. But let me be clear, we cannot succeed without collective unity and solidarity towards our common goal of combating climate action. And that's what the COP28 presidency brings to this COP. Throughout this past year, we have conducted one of the most extensive engagement tours around the world, with ministers and mayors, business leaders, civil society, youth, faith communities, and indigenous leaders. In our consultations, we've listened to their concerns and priorities, which have shaped a COP28 agenda that the world can rally around. The COP28 action plan is the result of those countless conversations. It's a 4-point call to action. We have the first pillar is fast-tracking a just and orderly energy transition. fix climate finance and deliver on previous promises, place people, nature, lives, and livelihoods at the heart of climate action, and finally, underpinning all of this action with full inclusivity. On the first point, we must rapidly build energy systems of tomorrow while decarbonizing the energy systems of today. The COP28 presidency is calling on global stakeholders to triple renewable energy capacity to 11,000 gigawatts, dramatically scaling up low-carbon hydrogen and doubling energy efficiency by 2030. On fixing climate finance, we know that finance is a critical enabler of climate action and how we turn ambitions into reality. Right now, climate finance is not nearly available, accessible, or affordable enough. We must reform the current financial architecture to ensure that it is fit for purpose and be able to meet the climate and development needs, especially for the Global South. We must also deliver on old promises, such as the long overdue $100 billion of commitment that was made, and ensure a strong second replenishment of the Green Climate Fund, and make progress on operationalizing of the Loss and Damage Fund and its funding arrangements, along with all the early pledges that are needed to do that. COP28 is also calling for people, nature, lives, and livelihoods to be at the very heart of climate action. We need to advance adaptation and resilience building efforts that can make a difference in people's lives today. We must also adopt a comprehensive and robust framework for the global goal on adaptation and address the gaps between mitigation and adaptation finance. Beyond the negotiations, the presidency is also zeroing in on key areas such as food systems, nature, health, water, relief, and recovery. And finally, we are mobilizing for the most inclusive COP ever by actively including every voice at the table and ensuring we have contributions from every country, every community, every sector, and every citizen. Because this is a global challenge that affects everyone, and we need that solutions include everyone. Pre-COP just concluded, and COP28 is now less than a month away. The global stocktake has made clear that what we face in the final home stretch, we have 7 years to cut emissions by 22 gigatons. This is the final countdown to keeping 1.5 degrees C within reach. Now is the time for action, and I believe the COP28 will be the moment to move from agreement to action. 1 month to go. Let's come together around the COP28 action plan, bring a laser focus on what we have to achieve, and turn our ambitions into outcomes. Let's unite, let's act, and let's deliver. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to speak.